Hey guys, welcome back. Today let's see about subprocess in Python. So subprocess module actually it will help us in running the external system commands. For example, if you are passing any shell scripts or in case if you have to execute any of the Kubernetes commands like kubectl apply or terraform apply commands, then actually we can use subprocess. Okay. So in case if we are doing some automation and if you have to pass or use any of the DevOps tools, then actually we have to execute those commands, right? So how we can execute those commands? Those commands can be executed with the help of subprocess module. Okay, so previously we were using os.systems, so currently we can replace that with subprocess. So subprocess can handle all these things which were handled by os.systems. Okay, so where are these things used? For example, if you have to trigger any of the aws cli commands like aws ec2 describe or anything, you can use this one. To apply Kubernetes manifest files like kubectl apply, you can use. To run Terraform, Ansible, or Bash scripts. Okay, so in case if you have to execute any of the commands or any Linux commands, everything you can use the same thing. And in case you have any CI/CD pipeline, or else if you have to mix Bash plus Python, then also you can use this subprocess. Okay, to execute these external commands, we need subprocess. Okay, so let's get started and let's see how this can be used. Okay. Okay, guys, so I'm using this VS Code from WSL as I'm using a Windows laptop. In case if you are using any of the Linux machine, you can directly install the VS Code and use from there. Or else in case if you are using Windows, just use WSL so that we will get the Linux environment. Okay, so now let's get started. So I'll just create a file here. Let me create it as day3.py. Okay, so in case if we have to use subprocess, so we have to import it. Okay, so how we have to define it? We can just do it as import subprocess. Okay, so in subprocess we will have many commands. Okay, we can do different tasks, right? So how we can see what are all the things we can do? You can just do subprocess and then you can press dot. Okay, when you press dot, you can see all the commands which can be executed along with subprocess, like call process error, check call, output, std out, and then you can check a command, everything. Okay, so we will have like n number of commands. Like, do you need to know all? Necessarily not required. You can just use the commands which are required based on the requirement. You can refer the Python documentation. It will be very helpful in case if you want to use any of these sub commands of the sub process. Okay, so now let's use few important commands which may be using in the daily life. Okay, so one of the main thing is subprocess run. Okay, so in case if you have to use subprocess run, then you have to do subprocess dot run. Okay, so how it can be used? For example, we are using Linux system. Normally, in case if you have to execute any of things, for example, if you see here ls-l, okay, this is Linux terminal, so it is getting executed. But if you have to execute the same thing using Python, how we can do? You have to pass it under subprocess.run. Okay, just I will give it here. Okay, so also yesterday, in case if you have followed our class, we would have passed everything, all the commands which we give, it has to be comma separated. Similarly, the same process will follow for all the commands in Python. Okay, so first we have to do open and close braces, then we have to pass these comments as a list. Because what is list is a group of commands or group of things is called list. Okay, so in case if we take ls-l, ls is separate and hyphen l is separate, right? So we have to pass them as separate arguments. Okay, so I will just open a list. Okay, and then everything should be inside double quotes or else single quotes. Okay, ls, and then we have to all everything which in the list is comma separated. Okay, one l. Guys, I am just directly going into DevOps concepts in Python. In case if you need explanation on the basic syntaxes, everything, you can just let me know. Like, I will try to make separate video on that. Also, guys, in case if you like the work, please give a like, so it will motivate me to do more videos like this. Okay, okay, let's get started. ls-l. Okay, so we have given subprocess run ls-l. Okay, uh, now it is fine. Now we have to see the result. Okay, so subprocess will give the output of all the standard outputs and standard errors. Okay, so now just in case if we have to print the output on our display, we have to give it as print. Okay, print. And then normally in case if you print, we should have a variable, right? Because here it is a subprocess, a direct command. But in case if you want to print that one, we have to give a variable. Okay, so let's me give it as result. Okay, result equal to subprocess run. So now I can print it. Okay, so I can print result. So in case if I just give result, let's see what will be the output. Okay, so in case if we have to execute this Python command, so what we have to do, we have to give Python and then day3.py. Okay, so it is giving us no such file or directory or something, right? So why it is giving like this? Because we have to give the standard output, so we have to get the output of this one. Okay, so normally in subprocess it will capture like standard out and standard error. Let me fix that one. Now in case if you have to get the output, we have to give std out. So in case if you have to get output, we have to give std out. Okay, now let me try to run. So thanks. Okay, guys, it was an error. So actually, it should be ls-l, right? So I just passed in l because of that. I'll just give -l. So now, just I will remove this one. So now let me try to print this one. Okay, Python day3py. So if you see, we got the output. Okay, but what is the thing additionally we are getting? We are just getting additional configuration like the return code, everything. Okay, but we need it clean, right? So in case if we need it clean, we can give result.sdd out. So now what will happen? It will remove this thing and it will give a clean file. Okay, so also like previously we had this complete process, and now we are getting one more thing called none. Okay, in case if we have to avoid this, then again we have to modify few things. Okay, so what we have to do, so we are getting the output here, so we have to capture that output. Okay, so we have to capture that output, and then normally it will give it as bytes, so we have to capture it as string. So how we can do? So ls-l, in case if you are confused in beginning, you can just start using this one. But in case if we need clean output, we have to do additional things like uh, let me give capture output. So if you see, we have one thing called capture output, right? So when we start typing, it will automatically give, okay, capture output. So in case if you have to like capture output, if it is like really we have to capture, we have to give it as true. In case if we don't want to capture output, we can give it as false. Okay, and then normally we will get output in bytes, right? In case if you have to get it in string, then we have to make text. We have one more thing called text, we have to give it as true. Okay, so now when we try to execute this one again, if you see, this none, everything is removed. Okay, directly we are getting this file. So this is how we can use subprocess run. Okay, so in case if we have to use some Kubernetes or something, how we can use? So let me comment out this one. Okay, so in case if you have to try something on Kubernetes, you can just try the same thing. Okay, I will just give result and then equal to subprocess dot run. Okay, and then we have to open this curly braces, like braces, and then in case if you have to give command like kubectl apply deployment, then what we can do, we have to pass each and every command in the quotes. So like kubectl, okay, and then everything is comma separated, apply, and then again comma separated, and then -f, right? So -f, again comma separated, and then deployment dot YAML. Okay, so when you pass it like this, it will just apply the deployment.yaml. And also like in case if you want those standard outputs to be true, then actually you have to just copy this one and you can give it at the end. Okay, it is comma separated and then paste it. Okay, And then in case if you have to see the result of this one, then obviously you can use the same thing. Okay, we have given the same variable, right? So we have given the same variable, so you can use the same thing. So print result dot sdd out. So you will get the output of this thing, whether it is applied or not. Okay, so this is how we can use subprocess dot run. Okay, okay, just comment this out. Okay, so we have seen subprocess dot run, and you know why subprocess is used. Subprocess is used to run external commands like any Linux commands or else any of the tools which are used in DevOps. Those commands can be executed using subprocess. Okay. Now, what else we have in subprocess? Okay. So we have one more thing called call. Subprocess dot call. Okay. So why subprocess.call is used? In case if you have to get the exit code, because when we execute a script, we have to know whether that is successful or failed, right? So in case if we have to know whether it is successful or failed, we have to know the status. So how we can know the status? We can use subprocess.call. Okay. So let's do the same example. We can use this one. Okay, I'm just giving lsi funnel here. No need of those outputs, because we are just going to check the exit calls, right? So no need of any of these outputs. In case only when you need any of the outputs, then only you will need to give these things, because it has to capture output and then it has to give it as text. Whereas in call it will just let us know like whether it is successful or not. Okay, now let me give the variable. Okay, like exit code equal to this one. Now let me print this one. Print exit. Okay, now let me try to execute this one. Okay, see, I have got the 0. So in case if it is 0, it is successful. In case if it is 1, it is means like it is having some issue. Okay, now let me try some other thing. Okay, like let me try this one for example. Okay, I will just remove this one. And okay, I have to give it in okay, let me try to execute. Anyway, we don't have Kubernetes here, right? So obviously it will give error. Okay, what is this? Okay, it's like this is absolutely fine, because like we will not be able to execute this one because we don't have kubectl, right? So this error is common. Okay, so in case if you have to test this one, you can just execute this in Kubernetes environment, so you will get the output. Okay, so as we are just using Linux without kubectl, it will not execute. Okay, so now we have seen subprocess.run. It will just do ls hyphen like any of the commands you can run. And then we have like subprocess.call. So using subprocess.call, we will can check the exit code. Okay, similarly we have a few more things. Okay, like we have something called subprocess dot check output. Okay, so what is the use of check output? So like in case if we have to get output of a file directly, then it will just give the output. In case of any error, it will fail. So just I will clear this one. So what exactly we can check using this one? For example, in case if this is my host name, right? So in case if you have to check the host name, just you can pass in host name. Okay, and then it should be inside colons. Okay, so let me just give the name, like we are going to check host name, right? So let me give it as host name equal to this one. And then here also we have to pass text it equal to true. Okay, otherwise like this text, it will just convert the bytes into strings. Okay, now in case if we don't give, what exactly will happen? Now let me just try to print this one. Print host name. Okay. Now, okay, if you see, it has given the output. Okay, it is given the output. Okay, but in the beginning we are seeing a letter B, and in the end we are seeing N. This is for new line and this is for other things. So in case if we don't want this one and we only just we have to get this thing. Okay, this is why we use this text equal to true. Just we need text. What it will do, it will convert these bytes. It will convert these bytes into text. Okay, just let me copy this one, and I will just put comma and then paste. Okay, now let me try to execute this one. Okay, if you see, I have got it clearly. Okay, in the first example which we have seen, like it may be confusing, right? So now you it is clear. Like in case if you are not using this one, we are getting like extra characters. So in automation, we in case if we want to just know the system name, then it is tough. So when we add this text equal to true, it will convert these bytes into text string. Okay, and it will give the output. Okay. So this also can be used in case if you are going to list any of the AWS EKS clusters, then you can pass it as AWS EKS list clusters. So it will list all the clusters one by one. And then even in case if you have any of the servers, if you have to list everything in a list, then you can use the same command like subprocess check output. Okay. And then like we have one more thing, like in case if we have to check whether a command or something is run successfully, like completely, then we have something called check call. Okay, let me see that one. Okay, so we have subprocess dot check call. Okay, so what exactly this one will do? So it will check whether a particular command or something which we ran, it has completely successful. Okay, and in case of failure, it will raise error. Okay, now let me just check any of the folders. For example, um, so I will just give the variable name here so that we can use it. And or else it is not required. You can directly call. Okay, so just I will pass ls. Let me search for a folder. Okay, in case if you take like temp. Okay, so what it will do, in case if it is like valid, it will give output, otherwise it will not. Okay, let me just try. So syntax, sorry, it is like comma. Okay, we have forgotten these braces. Okay, let me try to execute this one. So if you see, it will directly give the output. So in case if you are checking for a folder, it has all the details and it is giving for a folder. Let me search for one more folder. For example, etcd, etc. So I will just try to execute the command again. So we are getting all the outputs of what are all the files we have in that one. So in case if this command is valid, it will execute. For example, now let me try to give a wrong folder. For example, we don't have any folder like Ashok. Let me try to give that one, and I will just execute that one. Okay, if you see, like cannot access Ashok folder, like subprocess comment like returned non-zero exit status 2. So what happens in case if the command is correct, it will directly give the result. Okay, so in case if we are like giving some wrong thing, it will just directly give the errors. Okay, so for now you just try to practice this sub process, so we can use or try few automations, but for that we need a few more modules. Okay, so once we cover those modules as well, we can try everything. Okay guys, in case if you like the video, please like, so that it will motivate me to do more videos. Okay, thank you.